the horizontal profiling stuff that you're doing, because that's super unique. It's actually very similar to what I do with our vertical assessments. Talk about that.
Yeah. So we it's been a long journey doing this, but essentially we started out using force plates way back and looking at the ratio of horizontal force to vertical, and then figuring out, okay, where should this switch over? How much force do we have? How much velocity do we have? What's the relationship or power in this run? So what we did over the past couple of years is then transfer that to lasers. So we're looking at, through split times, what's the horizontal force, what's the vertical force, what's the ratio of that? But most recently, we've looked at using GPS units. So we've programmed GPS units to read force velocity profiling for us. And then we're actually taking that, looking at the buckets. So how much force are they producing? How much velocity are they producing? How much power are they producing? How fast does that horizontal ratio force drop to vertical? And then we're able to look at athletes as a whole, as a team, and then create buckets for each athlete. So if the athlete's not producing a lot of horizontal force, we bucket them with a physiological drill, like resisted run, and then a technical drill. Maybe it's some lumbo-pelvic control. Maybe it's an A march. Maybe it's an A switch. So we're building these profiles, but also we have a drill library to kind of insert the athlete into a prescription-based model.
Right.
But what we're seeing is actually interesting is that majority of the athletes that we have can produce decent velocity once they get to a high level. Most of those athletes that we've seen are deficient in being able to produce high amounts of horizontal force. So what I mean by high amounts is producing 60%, 55 to 60% or more ratio of horizontal force to vertical at the start. So we see athletes that can produce force, but at the start, they're not capable of producing that force horizontal. So it's the same as if none of us ever squatted, went in the weight room, and we're like, max squat. Nobody's going to perform well because that hasn't been a consistent stimulus in our programs. So even athletes at the NFL level, at the Olympic level, we're seeing they haven't had a lot of exposure to training this way. So we're seeing huge gains in athletes in a short amount of time. Like what we did in 8 weeks, we're now doing in 4 weeks, truthfully. Like, and it's not rocket science. Like, it's actually simpler. I coach less, I sleep more. Like, honestly, like it's more of it's less guesswork. I think in the beginning I did so much because I'm like, if I throw 1,000 things at this athlete, like 5 of them are going to work, and hopefully they're the 5 I need. But now I'm like, I only need these 5 things, and I'm going to do them, and I'm doing really well, and then I'm going to step out the way. And we're seeing huge increases.
Yep.